Okay, this is part 2. We're going to continue on to the 5th side, which is the 3rd page. Okay, so this one you need a 7.5 by 7, and no, we're on the 6th page. You need an 8 by 6 and an 8 by 5.5. And then there should be one more piece. Okay, and then the 5 by 6.5. So you need the 8 by 6, 8 by 5.5, and the 5 by 6.5 inch pages. So we're just going to score or fold on all our score marks. Apply score tape. So folding, folding, folding. And I really want to burnish these. And apply score tape. To those flaps, and now to the pocket. And again, I'm applying it when the folds are, the paper's completely flat, and this is the front of the pocket. Taking my scissors, and I'm cutting out a little square again. On each pocket, I do this, every pocket, so that it folds up nicely. So bringing my page back, and this is the page that we had the flap with the belly band. I'm flipping it over. Now, there are 2 sheets that are folded. You got one that's this slightly larger than the other one when they're folded. So the smaller one, I'm attaching. Oops, you know what? I forgot to take these corners off. Taking off the score tape, and I'm just lining this page up to the left side. The folded edge is lined up to the right side, or the left side of the cut edge. So now this page, I'm going to cut off the corners on that one as well. And then I'm taking off the tape backing, and I'm applying this to the right side of the page. Now I'm taking my pocket, taking off the tape backing. I'm folding the 2 sides down and the bottom, and then I'm going to attach this pocket to the right side flap to the front. And there we go. So you can attach your magnet to here and to here, and then that is that page. The next page is the 7th page. So we have 2 8.5 by 8 sheets and 2 4 by 3.5 inch sheets. So again, I'm going to move my pocket or my page up there, and I have these 2. It's scored here and it's scored here. So I'm just going to fold my score marks, and then I'm going to fold this up, and it should be like that. And the second 8 by 8.5 sheet, I'm going to do the exact same. These are folded in the exact same way. And making sure that that lines up, and folding down so that they open up like this, and then here's the 1/2 inch. So I'm going to apply my score tape to the 1/2 inch flap on both pieces. Going to miter the corners on both of those pieces. I'm going to set them aside and work on the other flaps. So now we have the 4 by 3.5. We have 2 of those, and we have scored it at 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to fold on my flaps and get out my corner rounder. I'm using the We Are Memory Keepers, and I'm using the 1/2 inch side. And I'm going to, here's the flap, and I'm going to round the bottom corners here on both of these. Now I'm going to place tape on the flap. Why it's not folded, it's flat. And I'm looking at the front of this flap here, and I'm going to miter again. Now bringing my page back, making sure my openings are on the side here. And depending on how you want your pages to open, I wanted mine, this attaches to the bottom. I wanted this to open up like this on the bottom, and on the top I wanted it to open the other way. Okay, so I have my 1/2 inch here with the tape. Taking off my tape, I'm going to fold my page, and I'm going to fold this down. This part, I'm going to fold it under, and I'm going to line this edge up with the bottom of the page. Okay, I'm just going to reinforce my folds there. I'm going to flip that out. Now this one, I wanted it to open coming down, so that's how I put it on there. So here's the tape. I'm going to take the tape off and fold it over, and I'm going to line it up to the top of the page like this. Okay, so now this page opens up this way, this page flaps. So they flap up, this opens down, and this opens up. That's just the way I liked it. So now I'm going to flip them both open. I'm going to take these little pieces here, the 4 by 3.5, take off the tape backing, and I'm just going to line this up here so that the score line is right at the page mark. Take this down, pull it up just a little bit here, and I'm going to push it down, and then I'm going to fold that over. I'll push down. So that creates my little page. And so I put a magnet here and I put a magnet here. So let's do the bottom part. I'm going to lay this in here, but I'm not going to push it down. I'm just going to lay it in there. Put this down. I'm going to arrange my pocket so that I can fold it over. I'm going to fold it over, then I'm going to push down. And so again, this is where I've attached the magnets to the page. So I'm going to flip the page over. I'm going to do the back page. We use the 3 by 8 and the 6 by 7, and there's 2 score marks. So I'm just going to fold on here, and I'm going to fold on this flap here. Now, in my original book, I punched the edge of this 3 by 8 sheet here. So if you want a decorative edge, punch it here with your edge punches. Okay, this side with the 1/2 inch gap flap is going to be attached to the left side of the page. I don't know what, and punch it again. So I'm going to start off in the middle, and I'm going to punch down. I'm going to line it up here, making sure my paper's flat. Lining it up. I didn't get all the way over. There we go. There we go. So there's that. So now I'm going to apply the score tape to this piece and also the other piece. And I'm doing it again while the flaps are extended, meaning the flaps aren't folded back, they're up. Going to miter the corners again, just so that when I mat it, it looks nicer. That's all that's for. Okay. So here's the first flap. I'm going to take it off, the 3 by 8 inch, and I'm going to apply it to the left side of the page. And this right flap, I'm going to turn my page so that the opening's here. I'm going to center it again, 1 inch from each side, and line it up against the edge of the page. So here it is, opens up, and then this comes down. So I attached a magnet to here and a magnet to here so that it would close like that. So this one, I have created a pocket that I put on the bottom, and then I created a flap. Okay, that's pretty simple. 7 by 9 and the 8.5 by 8 sheet. So this one has 3 score marks on it. Let me push this up so I don't keep on going off camera. All this hard work and then you don't see half of what I'm doing would really suck. So part 1 is uploading to my editing software now, which I use whatever came with my computer. It's Windows Movie Maker. That is what I use to edit. So it's been, let's see, it's still transferring over, and it's been 15 minutes now. So it takes a while to transfer it to your editing software. Then however long the video is, you basically have to watch it once, make note of where you want to edit or chop off things. So it takes a while to edit, which, I mean, I don't mind. I think it's kind of fun, but sometimes I just want to crank these videos out. So I apply the tape to the sides, to the flaps, and then I cut out the squares just like we do on any other page. I'm going to bring my page back. Again, I'm making sure that the openings are on the left and the right side. I'm going to take the tape backing off, and I'm going to stick my pocket down. I'm going to stick my two sides down first, and then this other, the bottom part up. I'm going to apply my pocket, making sure it's lined up on the bottom and on the sides, because I don't want my pocket sticking over. And again, you can see the different colors between the same packs of paper. Well, actually, they're different packs, but you know what I mean. Like this was out of one pack of paper, and this was out of the other pack of the same brand. So they're different runs, I guess. So now we have a 1/2 inch score mark there, and then the middle score mark here. So I'm going to fold my score mark here. I'm going to apply score tape on this score mark here, or this 1/2 inch flap while it's folded. See, here's the 1/2 inch flap, it's folded. So I'm applying score tape there. I'm going to unfold it so you can see the whole page. So here's the 1/2 inch, here's the middle score mark, and then the end of the paper. So I applied the score tape there, and I'm going to cut off the corners. Now this one, I kind of centered this. I'm going to take off the tape backing. I kind of centered this on the pocket here. Let's make sure my folds are crisp. So I just eyeballed it. I folded the flap down so that the adhesive is on the back. And then I just kind of found the center, which I will give you some measurement. 1/4 inches from the top. Hey, I did math without my toes. So this flips open like this. It comes down like this. And then here's the pocket. 1.5 by 9 piece where I created this page with the flap up like this and the flap down. This flap has a pocket. So what I was trying to do when I created it, I created the flap first, and then I created a separate pocket and put the pocket on there. But when I was writing down the measurements for the tutorial, I thought that if I took a whole sheet of paper, that I could make the flap. So this would be the flap on the top, and then here would be the pocket piece, and then you fold the pocket up. But again, I jacked up the measurements. So, because my pocket is 4 inches. So this part should only be scored at 4 inches here. So the score mark should be here. It should be down a little bit more so that there's a little bit of a gap on the front. And then I didn't score. Okay, so I'm going to get my scoreboard out so you can still use this 9.5. We won't have to cut another one like the other one. So you have your 9.5 by 9 sheet, and you stick it in your scoreboard so that the 9-inch side is across the top. You're going to score at 1/2 inch, and then again at 8.5 inches. Then when you rotate it, you are going to score at 4 inches. Okay, and then again at 9 inches. And this is going to create the pocket that we need. And I'll have to recreate, fix, score. Gotta fix my blog and fix my last video now. So that when you fold this up, that would be folded 4 inches up from the top. And then you have this 1/2 inch score mark here at the top. So what we need to do is, here's the 1/2 inch score mark, and then you should have 5 inches right here. So this 5 inches of this 1/2 inch flap on the right side, you're going to want to cut this part off right here. So I'm just going to get out my scissors, because this right here is going to be the pocket. So we want these two flaps to be on here and attached to here, so this creates the pocket. So we don't need this whole flap here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to just cut it off with my scissors, nothing fancy, and I'm just cutting it on the score mark there. Like this, and then eventually we're going to miter this, so I'm just going to do that now. Sorry if you hear that pounding. My husband's making steaks and he is tenderizing them. And the perverted part of me wants to say something bad, but I'll refrain. So I'm going to fold on my 1/2-inch score marks here, and this is going to create the pocket. Oops, I didn't cut this flap over here. So here's your page now. We cut off this 5-inch, 1/2-inch flap on this side. It was 5 inches long by 1/2 inch. We cut that off. So now here's my flaps folded, and I'm going to apply tape to my flaps while they're folded. Okay, I'm going to apply it to my 1/2-inch flap on the top as well. So we have these two pieces, which I'm taking off the tape backing. I'm going to fold it up. And again, this pocket should only be 4 inches. So I'm just going to make sure, yep, it's 4 inches. So there we go. There's that. This is going to be attached to the top of the page. So I'm taking off the score tape. I'm folding it back, and I'm going to line it up along the top of the page, making sure it's flush with the sides on the left side, lining it up with the top, and then it should automatically be flush with the right side. So here is the page that we have. So I basically did a score mark wrong on this. It looks like I scored at 1/2 inch and then 5, which is what I did. That's what the measurements, that's what it was. So 1/2 inch. Oh, that's what the problem was. So you score at 1/2 inch, then you score at 5.5 inches. And I wrote down 5. So let me fix that. And then so on the 9.5 inch side, you score at 1/2 inch, and then at 8.5. And it's just like this, and it has a 1/2 inch score mark. So we're going to fold on our score mark. Apply the tape to this flap here. And then I'm going to miter the corners. Bring my page back down, and I am going to apply this. I'm going to fold up the flap, and I'm going to line it up along the bottom and on the side here. There we go. Make sure it sticks. So here is the page that you can stick the magnet on the back here and right here of the page. Or if you want the flap on the top, you can have the flap on the top. So there's the next 2 pages. You have your 8x11 sheet, which is scored at 1/2 inch and then at 7 inches. So that's going to be here. So we're going to attach the tape to that 1/2 inch flap on the top here. And then we're going to cut our miter. We're going to cut our corners off here on the flap. Take the tape off and attach this piece to the top of the page. Sorry for the elbow there. And so now this flap is going to be like this. So I'm just going to reinforce my folds. Then we have an 8.5 by 5 inch piece. And this is what the pocket's going to be. It's scored on 2 long ends and 1 short. And I'm going to move this out of the way so that you can kind of see. I'm going to fold on all my flaps. And this is the pocket. So I'm going to cut off the squares that are created from the folds, just like I do on every pocket. There we go. Apply score tape. I have to order more. I have 1 roll left. So I'm going to cut out the squares here. Okay, and this is the pocket. So I'm going to take the tape backing off and the edge. And on this one, I'm going to apply the 2 long sides down first and then this side down. So I want my opening to be right here. So I'm taking the folded edge here and lining it up on the base of the page, making sure that the sides line up. So this folded edge is going to line up with the cut edge of that flap. And this folded edge is going to line up with the folded edge on the other side. So here's the pocket, and it flips down, it flips up. So that is this page. Now we're going to 6 by 8 and the 4 by 9. So I'm going to attach the pocket first. So here's another pocket where we're folding on 3 sides. attaching the score tape and cutting out the squares that are created by folding on all the score marks. I'm going to cut out the squares again at an angle. So that part is coming out. So I'm cutting at an angle up to this score mark right here, and I'm going to cut down at an angle up to this score mark right here, and that creates that. So I'm bringing my page back, and I'm going to attach this pocket to the bottom of the page, and I'm just removing the tape backing. I am going to put the two sides down first, and then the bottom up, and I'm attaching it to the bottom, making sure that it's flush with more actual page. So here's the pockets, and then now this is just a flap. So I'm just going to fold on my score mark, unfold it. I'm going to apply score tape to that 1/2 inch flap. I'm going to cut off the corners here, and then I'm going to bring it down. And here's the fold. I'm going to line the fold up to the top of the page. And so now you can stick a magnet here and a magnet there if you wish. And that is the last page. So the album is done, and obviously we posted in 2 different parts, this part and the first part, and I will see you guys on my next project. Bye.